Welcome to Career Conversations by Future Forward. I'm your host, Owen Brell.
And I'm Kaylee Tramontano.
And today we're here with...
Kaylee.
Okay, so this is a special guest for us because, previously we've had, people that are further along in their careers, but this one's special because you're actually a student entrepreneur in high school. You're a senior, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about being an entrepreneur in high school.
Yeah, well, it's lots of fun. Do you want to, me to tell what I do?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my own podcast called the Hustle Generation Podcast, very similar to this one. We talk about really spotlighting young entrepreneurs. And then I have a clothing company called Farm Merch, where I sell farmers market-inspired clothing. And that really comes from my job. I'm an assistant event coordinator for the Nolensville and West Haven Farmers Market. So, yeah, I love doing it. I'm a student at the Entrepreneurship Innovation Center, and that's really helped me this year with all my things. Yeah, I really like it.
So as a high school student, how do you find balancing schoolwork and all your extracurriculars and stuff?
Yeah, so I'm not, never been really great at school, so I always just took regular standard classes. So it's never been a super big workload for me. But if that's your thing, if school's your thing, then that's a different story. But if you're just if you don't like school, then take standard classes and really try to focus on your extracurriculars, because those are really what are going to get you places and get your career going. So this year I took a bunch of online classes. I feel like through that I've learned really good time management skills. But basically balancing all the entrepreneur stuff is just writing down a calendar every month, as I have my whole month planned out exactly what I'm going to do every single day. And then so that keeps me organized.
Yeah. You talked about managing your time and how it, you can focus less on school and focus more on your extracurriculars and how those really affect your future. How has that shaped your future, and what do you expect your future to look like in 5-10 years from now based off your extracurriculars?
Yeah, so I think I definitely want to stick with the farmers market. So I've focused a lot on it. I sell my T-shirts at the farmers market, and being that assistant event coordinator, I am there. I help set up. So that I think that's my career path, is just focusing on that. I've just learned so much, and then I can go straight into it right after college. I don't have to, not waste my time, but I don't have to sit there and try to find a job. I already know what I'm going to do.
What do you love about hospitality and event planning? How did you find your niche in that?
Yeah, but really I just grew up in it. My parents opened the farmers market when I was 7 years old. They started me a lemonade stand. I ran the lemonade stand for, it was 10 years this year, and it's just growing up in it, I guess. But I really do love, it's made me a big people person. I love to talk. I love, just being around people. And I work in a restaurant now. That's my part-time job, just for fun, because I love to talk to people. I'm a hostess, first person see when they walk in the door, last person they see when they leave. It's just about making an impact on people and getting to talk to them, and just I want them to remember me. So it's always fun.
What would you recommend to a high school student that hasn't really found, you talked about you're really a people person. What would you recommend to a high school student that may have not found what kind of person they are? How do they explore that?
Yeah, I think just trying new things. I'm really bad at that just because I already kind of knew what I wanted to do. But just try new things and explore different options. Also, make yourself uncomfortable. I was just always been a people person, but I wasn't really good at talking to kids my age. So getting out and talking to kids my age, it was uncomfortable for me, but now I'm really good at it. Mm-hmm. So just learning how to do different things for sure.
Yeah. So you're obviously going to be a very successful person because you have all these things going on for you right now. So what experience or what mentor pushed you towards this success in your teenage years?
I think really my parents. I mean, they got me started when I was 7 years old. They pushed me every single day to try and do my best. Also, like I said, I'm a student at the Entrepreneurship Innovation Center. It's a class in Williamson County that you can take. And those teachers have just taught me so much more than my parents could have, because of just the different perspectives that they have. So it's, yeah, I love that class. Love my parents for teaching me all the things. They're really great. Yeah. Don't ever be afraid to reach out to people either. Like, go find those websites. Go find the classes that you can take to do that.
That's what I was going to touch on about how you talked about reaching out. How has networking affected, like, your career success and planning for the future and what that looks like?
Yeah. I don't know. Networking is super important. It is. I do a lot of networking events through the EIC. So just really, like, listening to them is really important, listening to what they have, even if it's something that doesn't matter to you. Just always listening to them, because you may learn something you never would have. But, yeah, networking is super important.
Me and Owen started this podcast and basically future forward over, like, what students, like, we try to do it to help undecided students, like, what they want to do after high school. Yeah. So what are your plans for after high school?
Well, I'm going to go to college, I think. I think it'll, expand my knowledge of things that I never would have learned if I didn't go. So I'm going to try community college at Columbia State, and then I'm going to stay working for the farmers market while I'm in college, probably also keep my businesses going. But after that, I hope to take on the farmers market full time.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
So how would you recommend a student to get an opportunity? Like, so you're in the farmers market from family, right? Yes. So would you say that wasn't really much of a choice, or were you able to take more opportunities there than, like, just by choice? Like, what does that look like taking the most opportunities you get?
Oh, yeah. So all of the ideas that I've had have been my own. Like, this podcast that I started that because I thought it was super important to spotlight young entrepreneurs, that there was not a great program that showed, shared people's stories. So just, I don't know. I heard, a theory the other day is, like, you don't know about something until you know about it. Mm-hmm. So, have ideas based on things that you see, things that you've done, things that you've heard. It's like you're not thinking of a pizza unless somebody mentioned pizza, or we're hungry or something. So I think it's really important to just think of every option that you have and be creative.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any stories of, like, people that have inspired you in that way, like other students that have inspired you, like hearing their stories, like, wow, like, that can take me in this direction?
Yeah. Well, I just did a podcast episode with Anthony Beckett, and he has a company that it's like an online whiteboard.
Markify?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw his pitch.
Yeah, he's super awesome.
He's an academic weapon.
He is, for sure. But Anthony with Markify is an online whiteboard, and it's just, like, that's amazing, like, what he created, and he did it all by himself while he was in high school. And just, I learned a lot of my time management skills from him, and just talking to him and watching him how he does things. So his story is really cool. Mm-hmm. If you don't know who he is, Anthony Beckett, Markify on Instagram. His story is so cool. He's really awesome.
What are 3, like, key traits that you think an entrepreneur needs to be successful? So, like, throughout this podcast, like, we've heard networking a lot, and we've also heard being flexible a lot. Like, what do you think, in your opinion, are the 3 most important traits to being a successful entrepreneur, especially in high school? Yeah,
I think having an outgoing and nice personality. Like, you're not going to be successful if you can't talk to people. Like, that's the most important thing. It's just being outgoing. Definitely having good time management skills, because if you let 10 years slip away from you, that's a long time, and just something you could be doing a lot with that time. I think, I don't know, the third one. Definitely.
It could be anything. Like, yeah. What are your favorite traits about yourself?
I think I'm a good leader.
Yeah. What has taught you those leadership skills?
Being put in a place where I have to be one. I'm president of DECA and vice president of Turning Point, and I was the project management leader for a small business that I created in the EIC with one of my friends, and just being put in those places that I had to be a leader. I'm also oldest sibling, is a trait, but definitely being a leader is important.
Yeah, I for sure agree with that. Like, I'm also president of DECA, and I feel like that most of my experience has been through DECA and like leading people in DECA and managing conflicts in DECA. So I think it's very important to like get out there and become a leader.
Yes.
Like, how would you recommend to high school students to seek out those leadership roles?
Learn about your school, learn about what it offers. Make sure you pay attention. That's one thing I missed out my freshman year. I missed out on a bunch of things that I could have been already working on just because I didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, so I wasn't paying attention. But seek those out for sure.
What do you think you would have done differently if you go back to like your freshman year self and talk to her and say like, here's what you should do going into high school? What would you tell her?
Don't waste time. Get to it like immediately. If you have an idea, really think about it before you go through with anything. I was a really bad like impulse person, so I think I've learned from that now. But definitely like think about things before you do them.
What's something you've seen in your work that's kind of unexpected, like you weren't prepared for, and how did you handle that?
Unexpected is, I don't know, how fun it would be. I know that's kind of a positive thing, but I always thought, work is kind of just, everybody complains about working, but I love it. Like, I have fun with it. It's real easy to have fun with your work if you do something you love. So make sure you find that. Don't just have a blah.
Yeah, I actually agree with that so much. Like, I thought taking on more work as like, so I'm like a selling intern for a Mary Kay lady who sells makeup. And I thought it was going to be like such a drag. Like, oh, I have to like deliver product. Oh, I have to put in customer inputs. But it's actually been fun. Like, I've learned about like people and their trends or like different customers and like what they want to order. And then I've learned how to manage inventory. So like, I think it's very important to just like take all those opportunities and find out what you want to do like within those opportunities. Because, I've learned through my selling internship that, you know what, I don't really want to be a personal seller, but I do like key parts of selling, which is like help me determine what I want to do in the future.
I like, selling is so fun. I think I would be such a good salesperson.
Yeah, I like it. I definitely like making those connections or like convincing people to like buy something. Like, I know that sounds wrong, but like I really like, opening a whole new world to other customers or people who don't know like what something is. And so I think it's like really important, Like, I never thought that sales would be fun. Like, that would just be like me yapping about like useless stuff. But no, it is actually fun. So I think it's very important for people to keep like an open mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very.
Kind of talking about sales, and I think a lot of that, like you and thinking you'd be a good salesperson, it's like you talked about being a people person. So for students that aren't really a people person but still want to go into business or do something like that, what would you recommend? Like, how do they be more active and talkative like that?
Yeah. Maybe just, I would like research good skills, like things, maybe just try to connect on a different way. Like, I'm a people person because I like to make an impact on them. Maybe be a people person through, like, what is that word?
Like shared interests, kind of.
Shared interests.
Passions,
Compliments, things like that. Like, I love giving compliments. I think that's a super easy way to connect with somebody. And, I think just learning different skills and learning what you are like learn what your strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah. So most of like our audience are Williamson County students, so like they can relate to you that way. So what would you say are the most important clubs to join as a Williamson County like student? What clubs do you feel like had the most impact on you and your like student growth or professional growth?
Yeah, definitely. First thing, Entrepreneurship Center is amazing. Your first year, you get put in this random group with random people you don't know, and then you're told to make a business. And that, like, my business last year, we made claw clips, which is, like, super random, but, I mean, I learned so much about project management and prototyping and just different skills that I never would have even thought of in my own business. And I also learned how to work in a team better. But I love that class. And this year, we're really focusing on just growing our business. And so I'm working on my podcast there and my shirt business. I love DECA. I love that club. It's so fun. And it has something really for everybody. Like, even if you aren't wanting to be an entrepreneur, it has things for all career clusters, I guess. You can go hospitality, finance, all of it. I love Turning Point. It's a great club to learn about talking to other people and learning. It's a great education club. That's all I'm in, but I know there's a lot in Williamson County that's really good.
Yeah.
So would you recommend, like, a student that's new to high school, would you say it's better for them to try out a variety of clubs to see what they like, or really focus in on one?
I would say, like, when you're first starting, like, try as many as you want. But after a certain while, I mean, if you don't like it, then you don't like it. Mm-hmm. So definitely try it, though, because that could open possibilities to anything. You can find out that you really like something that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really important to try out things.
As a Williamson County student, how important have your CTE classes or, like, different pathways been important to you and your growth?
So important. I love it. It's that's what has shaped me. My teacher, Miss White, at Nolensville, the best marketing teacher I've ever had. I mean, she is amazing. I started my sophomore year there, so I took Marketing 1 and Marketing 2, and that just taught me a lot about different ways to, like, present myself, and we did resumes and a lot about, like, learning about yourself. And then this year I'm in the school store, and that's, again, it's like people person. They're just, I get to talk to everybody every day. We sell all kinds of stuff in there. But that just has taught me so much about, like, money handling skills. I make the store schedule, so it taught me scheduling for a small group of people. It's also kind of like, I'm not, like, a leader, but I feel like I'm handed a lot of tasks there to lead. And that's just taught me a lot more, how to manage different people again, so.
So you're very experienced out of high school. Do you think that students with less experience, let's say they're a senior, but they haven't gotten involved in those clubs yet, what would you say they could do, like, going into college, or, like, you know, at the end of high school they can still get involved in, even though they haven't been able to get involved in the past years?
Yeah. Well, there's lots of clubs in college again, but also just doing your research and really trying to figure out who you are as a person. Like, recently, I had to take a personality test for a random class, and I learned something I didn't even know about myself, which may have been the test issue. But it's just really learning about yourself is so important, and joining clubs in college and trying to take classes that you wouldn't normally gravitate towards, because, again, keeping an open mind and doing that would be really great for you.
Yeah. Thank you for all your input. It's been very insightful. Is there anything else you'd like to share with an entrepreneur or, like, a budding high school entrepreneur?
Yeah, just listen to everybody. A lot of people know a lot of things, so make sure you keep an open mind, and good luck to everybody who's an entrepreneur. I wish the best for you all. Thank you for having me on.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, wait, do you want to, like, repeat your Instagram handles or anything for people to follow you or buy your farmers market stuff?
Yeah. So I have Instagram for my shirts is Farmerch. It's FARMERCH, Farmerch Clothing. And then my podcast is the Hustle Generation Podcast. You can find it on YouTube and Instagram.
Perfect.
Thanks for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Thanks for watching this episode of Career Conversations. Please check out our YouTube and Spotify to check out our other episodes. If you'd like to be a guest on our podcast, email futureforwards1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.